Hello and welcome back. I want to talk about Kylan's birth, which is obviously Kylan here. He's my son. He's nearly 2 years old. And at the time, we didn't know he was going to be born on the particular day he was born. Obviously, no one particularly knows. It was his original due date, but then what had happened is they changed it to the 31st of July, but his original due date was the 5th of August. And the 31st of July came and went and nothing happened. So the 5th of August, we had gone to the hospital in the very early hours of the morning because Roxy felt like Kylan was on his way, basically. And so we rang our friend to say, can you come over? We need someone to look after Benjamin. Bear in mind, this is about 2, 3 in the morning. But he came over and he stayed with Benjamin. Benjamin was asleep, but, you know, just for the sake of someone being there, considering Benjamin was only 3 years old. So we went to the hospital and they said, no, you're fine, nothing's going on, you can go home. Despite the fact they knew that Benjamin was only a 2-hour labour, they sent us home anyway. So neither of us were particularly sure about that, but obviously they said, we can't keep you here, there's not enough beds, you need to go home. So we went home, we went to bed. As far as I knew, we both went to bed. Turns out, not quite true. So I went to bed, I went to sleep, and I thought Roxy had joined me as well. But that turned out not to be the case. So what had actually happened is I had fallen asleep, and that was kind of the last I knew of things. And then this one decided to be born whilst Daddy was asleep, didn't you? So basically what had happened is our friend... Is the monkey sad that Daddy missed it? Yeah, so's Daddy. Because basically what had happened is I wanted to try and film bits of it when he was born. Think it was all going to be in hospital and things like that. We'd have some sort of notice that, you know, we're in the hospital now, I can get the camera ready, it's going to happen. Didn't quite go to plan, obviously, as things don't always in life, because what had happened is I was asleep at the time, and our friend was still there looking after Benjamin and just being there just in case, really. And I got woken up to someone shouting, baby, Jadon, baby, baby, baby. And I could hear him screaming, I could hear a baby screaming, but it didn't register in my head that my friend was shouting at me, baby, and there was a baby screaming. Those two things didn't quite register in my head that actually Kylan had now been born. For some reason, I couldn't associate the fact that that means, oh my word, my child's been born already. So I was like, whoa, what? Because I'd literally been woken up to someone screaming baby at me. And this was about 9 o'clock in the morning. And I run into the bathroom and there you are, basically. Roxy's obviously not dressed. You're clearly not dressed. He's just been born. The umbilical cord's still attached and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh, he's been born. He was in the bath at the time, so I thought, oh, maybe he's been born in the bath. That's quite nice, isn't it? You know, a little water birth. And I mean, technically he did have a water birth. It was just down the toilet. We should have called him Louis, as a lot of people have said, because he was actually born in the toilet. Roxy thought she needed to go to the toilet, which I guess she did in a way, but she thought she needed to just go for a wee or something, and then out came Kylan, basically, and it was apparently like pretty much instantaneous. It kind of just sat down and out he came. And I wish I was there because apparently she looked down and his legs were just dangling up in the air, and obviously she had to fish you out of the toilet bowl. And then basically what happened is obviously I had to ring the paramedics and things. They were pretty thankful that he'd already been born. It saved them a lot of hassle. And obviously they came out. We had 3 ambulances come out. I had to go with Kylan in an ambulance. Roxy had to go in an ambulance, and there was just another one there for... just because they were the rapid response. I had to take my newborn son in an ambulance up to the hospital just to be checked, and Roxy had to be whizzed in blue lights. And it was a terrifying experience, but also one of the best experiences I've ever had. Like I was crying at one point, just in private, because I was like, I'm a dad now. Like I've got a child. Obviously I'm a dad to Benji, but my son has been born. This is incredible and it's crazy, and I've missed the whole thing. I was asleep when my son was born, and I can't ever change that. He's got like a little red... Not in your eyes, sorry. He's got a little red mark in between his sort of here. And we always say, and perhaps it's where he's bumped his head, but I think it's just a little birthmark. But it may be where he's just bumped his head when he was originally born. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it from my perspective, because really what I wanted to do was film him being born, not literally like down at that particular end, but just him being born, the whole thing. But as we all know in life, things don't necessarily go to plan, and that's exactly what happened this time. But it's okay, because that is life, and it happens. But I just wanted to share this story with you because I thought it was quite amusing. Monkey's sad. Yeah. Monkey's sad because Daddy missed you being born, and Daddy didn't get to film anything. Yeah. It would have been a more interesting video, wouldn't it? Do you like Daddy's videos?
Messy.
Does Monkey like Daddy's videos? I just wanted to share the story from my perspective because I thought it was quite interesting, and obviously if Roxy had a YouTube channel or she was part of this one more, she perhaps would share her side of it, but Certainly from my point of view, I was pretty much just woken up to someone screaming baby at my face, and baby screaming and me not quite associating the fact that that was my son that had just been born down the toilet. Monkey's sad, yeah, monkey's sad because daddy missed it all. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this story. It's quite funny. I think we should have definitely called you Louis. It would have been far more appropriate, but I tell you what, I can't wait for his wedding one day if he ever gets married, because it'll make for a great speech just to talk about that. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please subscribe. I have a lot more stories I can tell you. I have a lot more stories that I can tell you guys, and as I say, this is a bit of a different video, I guess, just because I've got Kylan with me, and it's not as creative as some videos I make, but I do hope you guys enjoy anyway, and other than that, we'll see you next time. You're going to say goodbye? Bye! Say see ya!
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, see you next time.